right? It's not an attack that I said. It's not an attack. It's questions. It's questions from people from Nigeria that come over here, other African immigrants that come over here. And it's not all of you. Like I said, it's not all of you. It's just the ones that show the sheer ignorance. And it's not just you brothers and sisters from there that show the ignorance, but it's other nationalities too. And what I'm saying is that the people that paved the way for everybody to come over here, that fought for equality. We deserve sort of acknowledgement and not to be looked down upon, which is very effed up because I've seen it. And I'm the type of gentleman, I'm the type of brother that show love to everybody that's melanated and everybody in period, because I go by bloodlines and so on. And it's not cool to deal with all that negativity that I see. And always talking about what goes on in the community that I'm connected to. And it's like everything being shown globally on YouTube. This is what's going on in Black America. And it's like a lot of times they're not from here. And not one time they show anything that goes on. And I mean, if we're that inspirational, thank you. It's just, it kind of like it really perturbs me and it really bothers me to a point where it's though, what is the obsession? What is the obsession of us? Why the obsession? Why talk about us so much when we have other people in different countries are going through similar issues? And it's not fair that we always go through stuff that pertain to us. You get what I'm saying? So, it's a lot. And it's very frustrating to see that. It's very frustrating to see the obsession of our people. And it's like, for once, talk about what's going on in your country. Talk about that. Don't talk about what goes on with us. Why are there invaders that don't look like melanated people in the continent of Africa that's trying to take the resources? You know what I'm saying? Why are we not talking about how we need to come together and stop what's going on? Peace, how you doing? How about we come together and stop talking about what's going on with us and talk about what they're doing to our brothers and sisters and our family in the Caribbean? You know what I'm saying? Like we so quick to be on this tribalism-ish. Let's really talk about some stuff. Like a lot of people don't know how the Arawak are connected to the Haitian bloodline, the Caribbean bloodline, to the brothers and sisters over here. I mean, there's a lot that I can say on this channel of ours, but I just wanted to just say something because it's been a long time. I never spoke on it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm speaking on it today, and probably only today, because I feel like it needs to be said and heard. Okay? Like, it's ridiculous. Like, how are you going to keep on talking about a group of people, you know what I'm saying, over and over again on your lives, and you talk about a group of people over and over again on your lives, but when it comes down to the country that you're at, you don't talk about what goes on in Kenya. You don't talk about what goes on in Nigeria. About what goes on in other countries. But for some reason, you want to talk about what goes on with the so-called Black Americans. Like, we have our own issues over here that we have to deal with. And I don't like calling myself Black American. You see what I'm saying? So we got our own issues and battles that we have to face over here. And I feel like it's more inspirational spiritually than anything. And I said that before. You know what I'm saying? I said it before. I think there's a spiritual connection that brings forth people that's inspired on what we do over here. So that's why they talk about us in videos, to see our next move so it can be copied as well, so they can go ahead and have that inspiration. That's what I honestly think that is. That's what it is. Because the lack of having that inspiration and having that power. So I guess we are what you call the trendsetters, the move makers, more than likely. So it's just stuff that it just bothers me to a degree, but I'm like, let me go ahead and air this out, because I've been quiet about this for a while. And I feel as though that, there's no hatred. There's just questioning. There's questions. Why talk about what goes on with us over here when you need to be talking about how to make changes over there? You know what I'm saying? Us over here, we're connected to the Caribbean. We need to be talking about connecting with our brothers and sisters that are Caribbean over here and start figuring out how we can make things better for ourselves. Because our enemy, know it or not, is not just the dirty Moors, but it's also the fake narrative of so-called white supremacy. Let's just be real. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be real. Enough is enough. Like we keep on, Grand Rising Mother Shelley. It's like I never seen a whole continent so obsessed with what we do over here. And they're on YouTube and they have all these different subscribers, and the first thing that they talk about is us. But yet some of the people that's ignorant from their community, they'll say that we don't have a culture. If we don't have a culture, why is K-pop our shit? Why is dancehall influenced by the brothers and sisters in Motown? Why is now you got East Indians rapping too? People don't talk about that. Okay? How about you have Cambodians in Cambodia rapping now? Let's talk about stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about a whole lot, how we are inspirational to the planet. Okay? But yet, we're looked down upon. You know what I'm saying? And that really pisses me off, because I'm like, how are you going to look down on us when everything that is being done is being copied off of us, and then you put your stamp of approval on like it's your culture, and you'll try to say it's not ours. It's little stuff like that. So like earlier, I spoke how, truth be told, how the West African people were originally from here, and this is true. People need to look up the whole Pangea breakdown. They need to also look how old Nigeria is. Nigeria, it was founded in 1960. They don't want to tell you that. There's a sister who I follow, who I'm subscribed to, that's Nigerian, and she always gives us credit. So that's why I said it's not all of them. This sister, what's her name? I think her name is Evie or something like that. I watch her channel all the time. She gives us praise and props. And she calls us brothers and sisters. And she even know that they've been inspired by us. She said in her videos how they're inspired by us. But you got people that come over here from there that say that we don't have a culture. But you got sisters like her that come on her channel and say, brothers and sisters of America, all these people copying off of you. So that's why I said earlier, there's no hate. It was questions. It was questions. It's a lot that burns people up over here that look like it was truly how we've been lied to about us not being indigenous. But yet, they'll tell you that somebody from Siberia is Native American. And I told y'all earlier, thanks to other YouTubers and other brothers and sisters that have been doing the research about Walter Plecker and what Walter Plecker did to the indigenous people in Virginia. And I said earlier in the other live, my grandmother was born and raised in Virginia. My great-grandfather, who was indigenous, he spoke Spanish and Portuguese because of his father. So my grandfather's side come from Louisiana, which is the Caribbean bloodline. So That is also connected to the Washita and so on. It has a connection somewhere down the line with the Yamasi. I'm not making this stuff up. I know who I am. I know my culture. I can relate to brothers and sisters in the Caribbean. I can relate to brothers and sisters to El Cabilon. But at the end of the day, we have a common enemy. Common enemy. And the separation is so fucking severe. You know what I'm saying? It's so severe that it's causing uproars and all this not unnecessary ish. So it's like you have all the ignorant brothers and sisters coming from the continent of El Cabilon, which you call Africa today, that come over here and disrespect us, but want to be a part of the culture so bad. Then they try to erase us out this daggone culture that we created and try to claim it as theirs too. Where they do that at? Let me tell you something. It is more spiritual than physical on the inspiration that they have towards us. When you don't have the power or the strength to show your warrior side, you become weak and docile, and you become oppressed because you don't have knowledge of self, right? When you don't have knowledge of self and don't realize that you're being bamboozled, lied to, colonized, and you're listening to your colonizer tell you that you're no one, but the people that have been fighting that same colonizer is telling you are someone. My old mentor, he told me that the brothers and sisters from the continent, they need us more than we need them. He said the reason why, because we hold a lot of the secrets on them waking up. And I'm starting to see it. Because a lot of us did go back to El Cabilon, right? And we started helping them remember who they are. If you don't believe me, you can look this stuff up. A lot of us went back over there to teach them who they are. And a lot of them are starting to wake up. But don't forget who helped ignite that fire in you. So don't think you can come over here and disrespect us because we don't come over your country to disrespect you. You know, I Show Speed showed that. He showed that. He ain't go over there disrespecting nobody. It's about the upbringing of us and how we are taught at home. There's so much I want to say, but when I get in this house, I'm really going to start speaking some real shit right now. I don't want to be too loud in my neighborhood, you know, because it's nothing but divine love over here. But I had to put that out there because it's sickening. It's very sickening and it's sick and it's not at peace. Peace. How you doing? How you doing? What's that? Is that Fiona's life? How you doing? Peace. It's like this. When it come down to who we are, all right? We always welcome everybody in our house. We always invite everybody to the cookout. Always. Because we know about the whole thing. What so-called white supremacy did. We know about how the way they move. How we even have to clean up our house from the coons. Just saying. We got to clean our house from the coons too. Because we got a whole lot of cleaning to do. Just like every other melanated group of people have to clean up their house from the coons as well. But you always have those plants that implement and invade the cultures to try to start war and havoc and disagreements. That's why I asked those questions earlier. We are working on checking our people. Brothers and sisters from El Cabilon, y'all need to start checking your people and start realizing that, hey, those brothers and sisters over there in the U.S., we have to start respecting them more because we are influenced by them. And you got to put your pride to the side and your ego to the side because the whole world is looking at us as pretty much the leaders, no or not. And it don't have to be dealing with finances. It's dealing with the illustrations that they show on the media. that they use as a tool, as a tool for sorcery to bring forth the illusion. So, because earlier I was going, you may think I was going on a rant, but I had to hurry up and speed up and talk because I had to take my children to school. So now I'm talking more with a calm demeanor. There's a lot of YouTubers on here that cosplay and claim to be from here, but they're actually not from here. They're actually from El Kebulon. There's a lot of them. You'll think that they're from here because of the way they talk. No, they've been over here long enough to talk and sound like us, you know? But a lot of them do accept the culture. I'm not saying all. A lot of them do accept the culture and realize, like, hey, um, I respect the people that were here first. And a lot of people from El Kebulon know that us so-called Black Americans are indigenous. They know that. That's why they tell us, oh, you're not African. They say that for a reason because they know. Because what they don't tell you is that they used to come back over here on boats and do trades with us too, if I'm not mistaken. You know, why you think that the dirty Moors knew that we were over here? And Christopher Columbus' son, or Christopher Columbus' son, had memoirs and said that the indigenous people over here were called Moors. They called us Moors or Mers. Okay, because we got to really start doing our homework. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I know everything. I just know parts of the piece. I know parts and pieces of the puzzle, and I'm here to try to like figure out why is there so much division and so much classism and so much tribalism, because if it wasn't for our people, a lot of the people from overseas in different countries would not be over here because of that civil rights movement. Okay. Even down to the lady named Ann Collier. I don't even fool with her, but she even said that civil rights was created for us over here. But what they don't tell you is that they did that for a reason, because they did not want us to know that we were indigenous to the land. And I came across a sister from Africa, or El Kebulon, that was living in Britain, who literally told me out her very mouth. I wish I was able to show her to y'all, when she said that she see the cheekbones and the indigenous traits in me. Okay, and she said I see more indigenous than I do see African. That's what she told me. She said, but I see a little bit of African in there, but I see more indigenous traits. See, we have to keep in mind that the people that come over here that want to be ignorant to our culture and want to infuse it with theirs, you have to show respect to the people that were here first, because if we would have did that in your country, you would find that as disrespect and you would be ready to go to war. Not one time we try to go to war with anybody. We just want the respect. You know what I'm saying? We want the respect and at least pay homage to us, because we looking like, damn. Like, hey, like, you're over here because of the struggle that we done did, the blood, sweat, and tears, and the murders, and what the unalives, and and other things that took place, the grapes and all of that. We paved that way. We took a lot of bullets, a lot of them, and these bullets were not just your regular bullets; they were like missiles and shit like that, just for you to have the chance to come over here, get an education, to get what you have. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. But who am I to say anything? Because I know a few mods that went to El Kebulon in certain parts, and they would beg and beg and beg for money. I mean, come on. I know mods that told me that, like, yo, I went over there, they begging for money, and because they were American. But it's like, but they don't show that kind of stuff on YouTube. They don't want to show that. Like there's a sister right now on TikTok that's telling women that's in Al Kebulon, what you call Africa, telling her women, go after the so-called Black American men. I mean, literally, she's doing a TikTok saying that. How you doing? The word black in law means deaf. I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, in the Black Laws Dictionary, all of that, it means deaf. So we gotta stop using the black. We gotta work on that. You know what I'm saying? But I get what you're saying. But peace to you. Um, but we gotta really start getting down with the truth right here. We inspire the planet, and many nations know that. I forgot the name of that institution. I can't pronounce it for nothing, but this institution, grow up. Okay, this is what we're gonna do with you. See, this we don't have time for ignorance or ignoramuses on here. We are totally spiritual intellectuals on here. We really are. Peace and love, beloved. We really are truly over here in this channel of ours. We are a very peaceful group over here. We don't have time for debating, but it's just questions, that's being asked from the previous live to this one. This is not to shoot down anybody's culture. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Um, this is not no attack. It's just, it just need to be put out there on questions. Thank you, Mother Shelley. I appreciate it. Um, it's just questions like why cosplay our culture, then say we don't have a culture. Why and for the Latinos or the Mexicans, I don't like to say Latinos, for the Mexicans, y'all are also y'all are also influenced by our culture too. You know what I'm saying? This is not no disrespect. Y'all are influenced by our culture too, because y'all have your own rappers, your own version of R&B. I mean, you know, we got to start really looking at, like, if you look up to people that went through all the hardships in this country, and I'm talking about people that look like yours truly, the ones that they find out they are actually indigenous to this land from all of the paper genocide. If you really look up to a group of people that are POWs, prisoners of war, it don't hurt to acknowledge that you admire their strength, their demeanor, their determination, their fighting spirit. A lot of us need to realize who we really are as a people. Like, literally, we went through all kinds of hell and we're still here. They lied to us and said they killed off all the indigenous people, damn near, when we are still here. We need to start looking at the story of Queen Khalifa. Why California is named after Queen Khalifa, or Empress Khalifa, I'll say, not Queen, but Empress Khalifa. We got to start looking at stuff like that. I was watching something off of TikTok the other day, right? And this Albion, which you call Caucasian man, he said where they got this whole Wicked Witch of the Wicked Witch of the West story from the Wizard of Oz, and he said that they got it from Queen or Empress Khalifa herself. That was their inspiration for the Wicked Witch of the West, for the Wizard of Oz, even down to the movie, the movie musical Wicked. That was inspired by Queen Khalifa or Empress Khalifa herself. Think about that and let that marinate. Let that marinate, because what they don't tell you is how Empress Khalifa whipped their ass with her soldiers, with her military. They ain't forget that. Like, look what happened to Haiti or Hispaniola when our family over there kicked the French ass and fucked Napoleon ass up by using one of our science, which is voodoo or voodoo. And you know what they did years and years and like probably centuries later? The earthquake in Haiti, where the Clintons infiltrated and called themselves helping Haiti or Haiti. They didn't forget when they lost, so they had to come back and hit them with something different. You see what I'm saying? They don't forget. It's like an elephant that don't forget. Like they say, the elephant never forgets. They didn't forget when they lost that. They couldn't take that L. See, we got to start looking at shit like that. Let's talk about how Nelson Mandela was influenced by the Black Panther Party and what's his name? Fidel Castro. Fidel Castro and his old homeboy, I forgot his name, They were inspired by the Black Panther Party, the original Black Panther Party, not this group today. Thank you for saying that, beloved. I appreciate you saying that. Y'all see what he said? I don't know if you were he or she. I don't want to disrespect you. Um, this is what I'm saying. And a lot of us over here that are indigenous, know it or not, you have Haitian blood in you too. You don't even know that because they rewrote the history books. You got to remember, Walter Plecker and many other racist mofos, they started relabeling us. They started labeling us. And then there's the chief of the Yamasee who literally said, and I'm going to play that video, not today, hopefully, maybe, I don't know. Just give me some time. The chief of the Yamasee said that all these tribes get a census that they take. And the census that they take, they label themselves as Negro. All the tribes. All of you want to know where you got there going reparations is? It's within those tribes because they label themselves as Negro. Y'all don't have to believe me. You can look it up. Our brothers and sisters in the Caribbean, this is your homeland too. Y'all are considered the Arawak. The Arawak is connected to the creek. You know what I'm saying? So we really need to start getting our things together, get things in order. You know what I'm saying? Because they've been lying to us for a long time. And for a lot of y'all that's coming from El Kebulon, that's not trying to show us respect over here, y'all really need to do your homework and start learning from us because we know more about the separation story than y'all do because y'all been colonized too goddamn long. And now you have the Mongoloids or the so-called Asian people in your country invading your country for what? For the resources, for the gold, for the silver. That's another form of colonization. And you know what they're doing? They're actually procreating with your women over there to try to claim the land later. And you know what that is? That's another form of what you call white supremacy because they learned it from them. The word Caucasian comes from is a connection between the word caucus and Asian. If you don't know what caucus means, it means deteriorating flesh, and then you have Asian on there. Y'all need to, I'm trying to shout out Dr. York on that. There's so much stuff I want to tell y'all that it don't make any sense. How this big old mind fuck then took place amongst all of us melanated people. Then our poor Dominican brothers and sisters, they've been colonized by the Spaniards. How are you going to say that you're different from the brothers and sisters of Haiti when we all have the same daggone bloodline on the same daggone island? That's crazy. That's colonization at its finest. When the Spaniards and when the Albion came into fruition, this has been done on purpose by a group of people that look like us. And they're using these ruling families as the figureheads while they're behind the scenes. But there's all this division, but yet nobody don't want to acknowledge the war, the fight that we've been doing over here. And then we also have been what? Inspiring from everybody across the globe that's actually being revolutionary as we speak right now at this very second. You'll come over here and disrespect us, and not one time we disrespect any of you. And I've been holding this in for a very long time. And I say it's not hatred. It's not hatred at all. It's nothing but love. Because I never told any of my brothers and sisters that I hate them. I never say that. I never say I hate anybody in the human race, but it's questions. You know what I'm saying? There's questions that emerge that a person like yours truly have to ask. And I'm not just speaking for myself. Trust, I'm not just speaking for myself. I'm speaking for all the mods, all of the brothers and sisters that have questions and subscribers on what's the problem, what's up with the tribalism, Why are we not getting the love that we and respect that we deserve for the fight that we do? Because everybody take from our culture, but they don't want the blues that we went through that's in this culture. Now, mind you, there are some brothers and sisters that come over here and face racism and be like, damn, I ain't get that over there. But quiet as a cat, you did. You didn't look at it as that. They make it so blatant over here and don't give a damn. So, there's just thoughts that come to my mind. You know what I'm saying? Thoughts that come to my mind. And I'm like, yo, let me go head on and just talk. You know? Like, let's really talk about things. Like, and it's like it's not fair to the indigenous people here, because there's a video I'm gonna show. Hopefully I might just do a live tomorrow since tomorrow's Thursday. Or one later on. I don't know. I'm gonna just figure it out. Because I keep on saying I'm gonna do, lives, but I did do 2 lives today. But there's a live that I showed one of the mods, sent to 2 of the mods, I think, if not 3, I can't remember, and it showed how the so-called Native American, many of them are losing their funding. But see, then I'm gonna show that video with the chief of the Yamasee breaking it down, so y'all can see that we have receipts over here. We don't have to lie about none of the stuff over here. We have the receipts to show. And one of the things that we really need to pay attention to is how they bring these plants over here to bring forth the division. That's what we need to start talking about too. Because a lot of people that come over here from El Capitan and other countries, I honestly think that they're plants to bring the division. If that make any sense. I'm starting to think that they are plants and they bringing division amongst the melanated people across the planet, because they don't want us to unify on one common goal, and that's to find out the real hidden hand. You got what I'm saying? Because when you have great minds put together well, if you have great minds put together well, then they start questioning things. Then they start coming into realization on stuff, right? But like I said, this is thoughts that come to my mind. This is not no attack. From the first video, it's not no attack. It's questions. Why you don't show acknowledgement to the brothers and sisters here when you come over here and disrespect us, and then you infuse your culture into ours, and then you try to push us out the way and claim our culture as yours. That's the only thing we want to know. Why y'all doing that? When we're talking about the ignorant ones, not the ones that show respect. Let me make that correction so y'all won't think that I'm talking about all of you, because I'm not. Because you do have some that come over here and help us, and they want to be unified with us. Like, yo, like, we see what's going on. I done met a lot of brothers and sisters from El Capitan, from West Africa, that welcomed me and said, bro, we know who y'all are, and we acknowledge you all. I had spoke to brothers and sisters from Ghana. I done sat down and broke bread with them. I broke bread with brothers and sisters from Nigeria. And they say out their mouth, like, all of us are not like that. We don't know why they act like that towards y'all. Just saying. I done sat down with our brothers and sisters that's Afro-Latino. And they like, yo, we the same people. Like, exactly. There's so many plants that they put in our communities to bring forth separation. And when we find out the connection and the family ties to all of this, then we like, yo, we are all family. What the fuck is going on? I'll tell you what's going on. It's about resources. It's about keeping you blinded. It's about, if we keep them fighting each other, we can start taking resources from them. We can start taking and start doing things behind their back. Like when we first came and gave them the King James Version of the Bible, and they kneeled down and we took all the lands from all those people that look like them. That's what it's about. And it's about also genetic survival. See, nobody don't want to talk about that either. So it's like, we could talk about spirituality all day on this channel of ours. But something told me to speak on this, because My children facing what they call racism in their school, and they're seeing it. My children came to me and told me that the Mexican children call our people monkeys. And my children, who learned from their dad, start breaking shit down to them and shut their asses up. Where the teacher had to pull my children to the side, like, who taught you that? Our dad. I have to get phone calls from the teachers telling me, hey, can you send me the information on that? One of my children teachers is Haitian from our bloodline, and he even said the so-called slavery story and the whole called slave thing. Oh, he said it to the children. Because the truth is coming out and people getting tired of being lied to. But the problem is you got these plants. First thing they say, we all come from Africa. They find out the oldest bones is in the US. They're finding out that the Grand Canyon have Kemetic deities over there. Dr. Malachi York, before they took him away, he said this country is Kemet or Egypt of the West. Many of our scholars said that. Some of the people over there in El Capitan are so inspired by us over here that some of us go over there and teach them. There's many sisters over there in El Capitan, what you call Africa, that be wearing the unks now. There's people in D.C. that is from Sierra Leone and got the tattoo of the ankh on their chest. That's what I'm saying. We so inspirational that when people come over here, that's the plants, they disrespect us. But it's also people from El Capitan that were born here that cosplay that you don't even know they have their roots going back to there. Okay? And like I said, Nigeria itself was founded in 1960. Let that marinate for a minute. Let it marinate. Because was it not during the 1940s that Palestine became Israel? Just to make you think about something. Something to make you think. So then you got to ask yourself a question. When did the other countries were founded in El Capitan? One of the questions right there. When were the other countries founded in El Capitan, which we call Africa today? When were they founded and discovered and given those names? So then you start asking the question, how old really is El Capitan, which we call Africa today? How old is it really? Without their researchers, without their so-called scientists, genealogists, geo geologists, whatever you want to call them, without using their thought process. Because you got to remember, you have to remember, what's the guy name that tried to say that man came from monkeys again? What was his name again? That fool that said we came from monkeys. I'm trying to remember his goddamn name. Come to find out, his whole theory was wrong. That he said man came from monkeys. I'm trying to remember his name. Saying that man came from monkeys and shit like that. Come to find out, his whole shit was debunked. We didn't come from monkeys. However, mankind came from monkeys. However, mankind came from monkeys. And you're like, well, what you mean by mankind? A kind of man. This right here on my face is considered hair, non-ether. This straight hair is considered 6 ether. that you see on dogs and everything. Six ether. Don't believe me? Look it up. Thank you, Dr. York. Shout out to you again. Y'all need to look up the she wolf. Don't y'all know that statue of that she wolf where there's two men suckling the breast of the she wolf? It's over there in Europe, and it's pretty much connected to their story too, on that smell, that foul smell. See, we gotta start looking at genetics. Dr. Sabi talked about all this stuff before they took him out. Rest in power to him. He's an ancestor now. See, nobody don't want to talk about all this stuff. I've been really wanting to dig deeper in a lot of this stuff, but it's like I don't want to feel like I'm starting controversy because I come to bring love and peace, but there's thoughts that come to mind that you need to start questioning. Like I said earlier, if Nigeria was founded in 1960, what about the other countries in so-called El Kebulon in Africa? When were they founded and when did they receive their names? Because you got to remember the name Africa was named after a Caucasian ruler with the name of Africanus. Got to keep that in mind. Look it up. So now we got to start questioning shit. Questioning every goddamn on thing now, because we got to remember they rewrote all the history books because they burnt the books and they tried to rewrite everything so it can fit to their story, because their story is not that old, but our story is a mystery to them on how we came to this planet. Dr. York taught his students that it's his story, but with us there's a mystery, which is my story, which is a mystery to them. That's what Dr. York taught his students. And I want to say thank you to all the brothers and sisters that were Nuwabians. That's Nuwabians that took me under their wing 20 something years ago. And I want to give thanks to them because they helped me with this journey. And I'm here to teach y'all what I've learned. Because without them, I wouldn't be knowing as much as I knew now. I knew enough, but I didn't know how to put the pieces together. And I want to give thanks to the great mother, the primordial mother too, because she was the one that helped guide me to where you was truly at today. But I also want to give thanks to all the mods and all the subscribers because y'all inspired me to start asking questions on our channel. But that's the thing. When did those other countries were founded and discovered? How old are those languages over there? Are some of those languages spoke over here before the continental drift took place? You get what I'm saying? Because you got to remember, there over here in the U.S. there's a village in South Carolina that speak Yoruba, and they practice the Yoruba teachings or spiritual practices in South Carolina, where also the Geechee Gullah located at, which is also I think that's where the Yamasee located at too. It's just thoughts that come to mind, y'all. It's thoughts that come to mind. We got to start questioning everything because we've been lied to so long, and then we got these plants coming over here from what you call Africa, El Kebulon, and trying to start these beefs and rifts and shit. But they want to cosplay into our culture. Then you got these plants trying to beef with the Caribbean brothers and sisters and don't realize and don't care that they also connected to this land too. They're also indigenous. So what's the beef? It's too many plants trying to cause separation because they know when the people finally wake up, when the sleeping giants wake up, game over. This whole thing is a big ass playing a big old video game to me. You got all these NPCs, all that shit going on. You got people over here in this country that was born here, they are plants. You got people over here that's talking about how to get their hair cut and how they look all great and everything, and they call themselves conscious. You got people over here saying how they look good and smell good and shit, and they saying that they conscious. They plants. You got people over here that try to say that they're aware just so they can put an album out to build up their fan base, to take the money from the people. Just it's so much shit that we got to deal with over here that we got to clean house on. So the plants are all over the goddamn place, to be honest with you. Like I said, this was the two videos I did today on our channel. It has nothing to do with hate. It's questions and also to make you think, make you wonder. Shout out to Mike TV for the work that he do. Real Kaya, shout out to all y'all, the ones that's doing all the great work, that's keeping our people abroad, and that's for humanity itself. But the thing about it, we need to start putting facts out there. And for the Tamil who we call Caucasian, let me tell y'all something. There's no hatred towards us. I mean, there's no hatred from us towards y'all. But the truth got to come out. And the truth is this. Y'all have not been on this planet too long. We've been on this planet for since who knows how long. All of your religion came from our son. They took that, you see that, right? Y'all see that they did this the second time. They ain't been doing this for a while now. Your religion, your science came from us. Without our science, there wouldn't be none of your religions. What you did, you took the feminine energy out and made everything masculine. That's real. You took the feminine presence out and put everything masculine. That's what y'all did. And you caused a disruption in the matrix. I already showed y'all on our channel what the word and the term matrix mean. I told y'all that already. We did that on our channel already, showed you what the word matrix really mean. And I'm going to give you a sheer breakdown real quick. The word matrix means mother, womb. Y'all took that out just so you can be a patriarchal people and try to be a dictatorship and rule amongst the melanated people, not just here, but across the daggone planet. Y'all use y'all missionaries and take them over to different places where melanated people at and have them submit to your religion, to your thought process, to your own ideology. When you're only probably, 6,000 years old or less than that. And truth be told, one of the things I can't agree with is that y'all are grafted as a people because y'all don't have the same genes that we have. Dr. Sebi did videos years ago and said that your semen, when it enters the womb of a so-called black woman, that it don't go all the way up, that it goes down, that it take multiple tries for y'all to procreate with a black woman. Y'all know that. And also, from one of our great mods on here, she even said that a lot of our women have to get shots when they have your children. And your women have to get shots, and also it could be birth effects or birth complications when they're carrying your seed. So who is really the parasite? Who really have the RH monkey gene? And I'm not calling anything or saying anything prejudice. These are facts. Many of you know that about the story of Yakub. Y'all know that. I had an elder when I was in my Masonic order that I was a part of years ago that told me. He traveled the daggone country and told many of your people about the Yakub story. And a lot of y'all said, yes, it's true, that y'all are grafted. Just saying, don't shoot the messenger. This is not nothing prejudice. It's not prejudice. I got to put facts out there. But you also have some of us that look like you that's passing. But like I said in the beginning, it deals with the bloodline. Remember, I said that numerous times. You feel what I'm saying? I said that numerous times that it deal with the bloodline, that you also have to do the genealogy and all of that to find out what you are and who you are. I mentioned some of the cultures that have our bloodline in it. The Irish is one, the Sicilian is another, the Dominican, the Puerto Rican, people in El Salvador, Brazil. I mean, I can keep on going. The whole damn near South America, except for Argentina, because they wiped out the whole melanated population. If I'm not mistaken, look at Guyana, not Ghana, but Guyana. Let's really talk. Y'all are a teaspoon on the planet. This whole planet is melanated. Let's also talk about the original Asians. The original Asians look like yours truly, but they also look like a group called the Sand People. See, there's things that nobody don't want to talk about like that, like that. Let's talk about how everybody on this planet has melanin, but the people that have the abundance are people that look like this. Let's talk about that. We are the children of the sun. Keep that in mind. There's a reason to that. You put your daggone, you try to rewrite our story, then you bring your plants over here that you taught your culture to start the uproar amongst the different uh, brothers and sisters from different uh, locations and regions. So when I ask a question why, like I did earlier, it was to spark something too. What was it there to spark? It was to spark and start having brothers and sisters from El Cabulon start questioning their people and their tribal thoughts. Instead of just being docile and quiet, it's time to speak up. That's the whole purpose why I started questioning y'all on our channel. It's time for you to wake up on your DNA explosion too and stop having people over in your country take over your shit and try to call you a foreigner in your own land. Because y'all saw what they did to us over here in our land. They went on and did a whole paper genocide and put the Siberians over this bitch and said to the Siberians, you're Native American. You're African American. That's what Jesse Jackson called us. And he was 100% Cherokee. Something they don't want nobody to know about. See, there's so many loopholes that they don't even want to talk about. But it's coming out now because the Great Spirit, which is the Great Mother, her spirit is letting it be known it's time for this awakening to happen. Not just over here, but over in El Cabulon too. Because there's parts of El Cabulon that's waking up, but a lot of y'all are still colonized. That's why y'all talk about what's going on over here with us, because we are your inspiration. Us who went against the bullshit, we are inspirational and still are. That's why you talk about us on your channels. Black Americans against white supremacists, all that stuff you put on YouTube. Because we are very inspirational to you all over there, and y'all trying to do the same thing, but you don't know how to come together. Instead, you will run from your country, come over here, and don't want to go back over there on the stuff you learned over here. Don't you know that you are the catalyst to jumpstart what goes on in your country if you go back over there? Y'all don't know that y'all the catalyst to upstart a serious uproar for freedom in your own country. Instead, you would rather stay over here and stay in the shadows while there's stuff going on over there in your country and try to claim stuff over here that we fought for. We would welcome all of y'all with open arms. But a lot of you that do come over here and do that, y'all are the plants. Many of you, not all of you. Many of you are the plants. Not all of you. So, my thing to you, why you don't have the heart, the kahunas, the balls to face your own reality on what's going on in your country? Why do you have the heart, the kahunas, the balls to try to push us out of this society and put yourself on a pedestal? Because I'm going to tell you something. You're no different than the colonizer if you're going to do that. You're no different than the colonizer, which makes you a plant. And I'm not talking about all of you. I keep saying it. I'm not talking about all of you. But y'all, the ones that know who I'm talking about, and that fit, and you fit the daggone shoe, you better wear that, bitch. Just saying. So I love everybody. I love my brothers and sisters from all walks of life. But I had to really come on this channel of ours to start speaking from here that's been plaguing me for a long time, that I've been wanting to question. This is not hate. We have our own coons that we take care of also, that we still taking care of. Y'all got to take care of y'all coons too. You feel me? Because y'all coons are doing the most. See, our coons, we call them out. We don't play that shit. Our coons, we call them out. We call asses out. We listen, we quick to call our agents trust. We're quick to say who's an agent. That's what we do. Y'all gotta do the same. That's how peace come. That's how we bring peace amongst each other. When you clean up house on your end, we clean up house on our end, then we're like, enough room. We start moving our arms like we got some room now. We got some breathing room. Now let's go ahead and start dialoguing with each other and see what we can do to make things right. But as many times we keep on having these coons and these agents and these plants in, that's going to cause nothing but separation. So once again, I'm going to ask a question. Why y'all are not going after yours that are cooning, that are doing the same thing the colonizers did to you all, what they tried to do to us? It's just that y'all making a new face for colonization. Something to make you think about, let that shit marinate. Because we check our people. The whole FBA thing, you notice how a lot of people stepping up and saying, fuck that FBA shit? You notice that? A lot of us doing videos and saying, yo, that's some goddamn plant shit. That's ran by white supremacists. A lot of us coming out saying that now. Your turn. Your turn. A lot of us are starting to realize that the brothers and sisters of Haiti are also indigenous. That's happening right now as we speak at this very second. The brothers and sisters that Jamaican, a lot of them are coming together like, yo, the fuck we beefing for? You know what I'm saying? A lot of them. What the fuck we beefing for? Think about that. It's happening. The revolution won't be televised. Y'all remember that saying, it's not being televised. Because people waking up and realizing that they are being lied to, that there's so many plants that's amongst us, the coons, that are the new face, the so-called black face of colonization. They hit us with that with the whole Obama thing, remember? Think about that. Let that marinate. I'm just saying. I'm just the messenger. I don't have no hatred towards nobody. I just want y'all to start thinking. We have a right to call freedom of speech and say how do we Long as it's not racist, long as it's not prejudice or whatever you want to call it. But it got to be real, because if it don't come real, then it's going to be fake. Period. And if you don't like it, hey, there's always another channel you can watch. But you have to take this and realize that we got to start questioning everything and question ourselves and start questioning brothers and sisters about what's really good and what's really not. You feel what I'm saying? Do y'all understand, overstand, understand, and understand what I'm saying? Because this is ridiculous. I mean, it's really ridiculous. So it's at the point that you get tired of seeing people that's from other countries that are from El Cabrilon, and all their channels is about our struggle, about what we got going on over here. We got to start telling them, focus on what's going over there, and maybe we can see what we can help you out with over here that inspire you over there. And you know what? They're monetizing our struggle that they put on YouTube for them to have the platform that they have and the money that they have now. Capitalizing on our struggle. You tell me that's not the mindset of a colonizer. Just saying. Y'all can say, "Oh, he's being contradictory." No, I said what I said. Y'all call out y'all coons, y'all plants. I gave a shout out to one sister who channel I subscribed, who acknowledged us. That's in Nigeria right now. Who called us brothers and sisters. Her name is Evie or something like that. I can't pronounce her name all the way. Shout out to that sister. She know what's up. And she's one of the ones that said on her channel that Nigeria was founded in 1960. Shout out to that sister. She know what's up. That's what I said. It's not all of you. Even she put up a video that YouTube took down to show how the Nigerians was showing their ass when Asho's speech started, was over there, and she said it was the most embarrassing thing, and she showed all the embarrassing moments that took place, and YouTube took that video down. And she was very hurt by that, because she wanted to show people how embarrassing it is, and that her people need to clean up their act too. She's one of the ones that's trying to show that shit. And she gave us all the acknowledgement over here. That's why I said it's not all of you. It's not. But the ones that come over here and look down on us and try to infuse their culture into ours and then try to kick us to the side, y'all plants right there that I'm talking about, y'all no different than the colonizer themselves. Y'all no different. And then when you get in trouble, you try to look for us to help you. Where they do that at? You can't bring the mindset of a scammer over here and think you're going to get over. Because after a while, your scamming will catch up to you. That karma will catch up to you. I'm just letting y'all know. You know, let's not go there with some of these Pan-Africans. Like the Umar Johnsons who've been scamming the people too. Where we call your little goofy ass out too, you scamming. Taking money from the people. You prey on the so-called black women over here too. We call y'all out. We call y'all scammers out that's over here too. That's what I said. We are cleaning up house over here with our shit. Y'all gotta do the same. So my thing is, we're gonna go back to the regular schedule programming, but I had to get this off the chest because I done talked to some of the mods on this channel. They feel the same way. A lot of them. They try to figure out like, yo, the fuck is wrong with y'all? And it's not all of you though. Brothers and sisters in the Caribbean. We know who we know who we are to y'all. We family. We know. Y'all are citizens over here. The people like the FBA and shit, they don't want to acknowledge that. We know who y'all are. We know the connection between not just Florida but the Louisiana and so on. We know about the Arawak. We know about that. Real talk. It's just that we got too many plants amongst us that's trying to cause separation. And the FBA shit, that is also ran by white supremacists behind closed doors. Let me tell you something. Foundational Black Americans is the new term for African American that Jesse Jackson created. And if you really knew about African American, you'll know that the real breakdown that is a label for food. Is a label for food. Yes, a label for food is also called African American. And you can find that out and look it up for your goddamn self. Where they do that at? Food? Or so we practicing cannibalism now? Let's not talk how the way the Western so-called settlers were also practicing cannibalism on the indigenous people. Oh yes, Albions. It's a well-known fact that a lot of your ancestors was practicing cannibalism on the indigenous people here. Y'all better remember Jeffrey Dahmer. Matter of fact, I found the video last night that showed how the royals, the royal bloodline, is connected to cannibals and how they're connected to Vlad the Impaler, who you got the whole story from Dracula from. See, let's not go there. I'm gonna leave it right there because it's a whole nother story. And I'm not talking about all you Albions because I said that some of y'all have our DNA walking around and saying that you Caucasian and you send your wife for passing. Exactly, Mother Shirley. They still doing it to this day. You got that going right. You damn right. See, I get tired of all the bullshit. That's why I had to call a lot of y'all out on this video. And see, Mother Shelley, no, I don't really talk like this on this live, on this channel of ours. But I just got tired of the bullshit. Got tired of it. Because I told y'all on this channel of ours, first things first, my people come first. Then we can start talking about everybody else. See, I let it be known I'm for the people. I love my people. I love my melanated people across the planet. I do. That's why this channel was also created too. So we can have an outlet of our own too. But those that have fair skin, that we know that have our DNA, y'all welcome. I told y'all it's about the bloodline. It's about the bloodline. It's about knowing your nationality. It's about knowing your genealogy. Don't come over here and say, I'm I have Irish, and then turn around, you don't have none of that. You have German or some shit. No, 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 no. Mm-mm. It's time for the truth to come out. Fuck your feelings. The truth need to come out. And if you don't fucking like it, oh well, there's other channels you can go to. But we done did a lot of kumbaya and all that other shit. Sometimes the truth got to come out. And if you don't like it, oh well. But the truth is truth. Face the truth. And the truth shall set you free. And for the plants on YouTube that be saying that they're aware and conscious, and you talking about I got a fresh haircut and shit, looking and feeling real nice. Those plants, when it come down to spirituality and consciousness, go back to the lab and do your homework. Because you're making a mockery out what your ancestors or what our ancestors have done. They didn't give a fuck if they had that nice fresh haircut. They only gave a fuck about their people, and not just the people, but the whole human race in general. And they fought for the people, and they did it for the people and by the people, and they stayed 10 toes down for the people. So stop talking about your goddamn haircut, because it doesn't have nothing to do with consciousness. God damn. Y'all don't even understand or understand the fucking foolery and buffoonery that we're surrounded by. And then have the audacity to be trying to show patriotism. Yeah, patriotism. and don't have don't have an ounce of patriotism in your blood. The real patriots were the ones that fought 10 toes down for what we have today. And a lot of them look like us. And never till this day got the acknowledgement for it. Because our ancestors fought through every war and still got slapped in the face. So before I hear somebody saying, oh yeah, patriotism this and patriotism that, where's your real patriotism when our ancestors was on the front lines too? The fight for the so-called freedoms that y'all all have today. Just to get hung, just to get burnt to a crisp, while a whole goddamn audience of goddamn fair-skinned people watch them burn. And then took the phallus off the men and turned it into trophies. Let's talk about that. So fuck your haircut. Getting tired of motherfuckers keep on thinking that shit is so cool. That shit is not no goddamn awareness or consciousness, goddamn it. That's some goddamn coonery and buffoonery. See, every great leader that we had been ridiculed, prosecuted, and unalived. Set up. Well, we have these daggone plants on these YouTube streets talking that goddamn dumb shit. Dumb shit. Then we got these other plants that's in other countries that's obsessed with our well-being and monetizing off of it on YouTube on what we go through. And don't give you no acknowledgement. I'm talking about those plants. Why y'all do that? Why you can't talk about what goes on over your shit? I guess the obsession is real. But you need that inspiration to find your own dedication to start exposing what goes on in your country, right? That's what you do. That's what you do. You need that inspiration to feed off of, right? And see, people might say, oh, he crashing out. No, I'm very passionate when it comes down to our people in general, all our melanated people. But I'm calling out a lot of these damn plants too, today. And the ones that be cosplaying and have you thinking that they're indigenous and they're not. But they'll have a baby by one though and keep that on the hush. See, we got to keep in mind, y'all, this shit is real. But I'm giving a shout out to the ones that actually cosplay, and I'm going to give y'all the shout out to the ones that actually fight for the struggle, because there's some of y'all that fight for the struggle. Not all of you, but a lot of you do fight. Let's just say some of you fight for the struggle. It's a good handful, a lot, enough of y'all that fight for the struggle to fight with us. I ain't going to lie about that. I'm not going to lie about that. But y'all do have y'all coons and y'all plants that's over here that make it look bad for y'all though. And that's the truth. And y'all know that. That's why y'all gotta check them when they over here too. Be like, yo, don't be doing that crazy shit. Don't be going up against the Caribbean brothers and sisters. Don't be going up against them over here. Because they are connected to the brothers and sisters that's over here because they also indigenous too. But we got to really start calling out all the plants that's in our communities from all across the globe that look like us. That's plants that's been what you call colonized. We got to start calling them all out. And I'm talking from every nation. We got to start calling them out. Because the only way unity going to happen is when we start cleaning up our houses. Then we can start having delegations and communications with each other and start dialoguing and start seeing, hey, let's start doing business together. That's what they're scared of too. They're scared of us doing business together. Because if you do business with me and I do business with you and we start creating a new form of wealth within our communities that can expand globally, that's going to be the biggest fucking hate that you're ever going to receive. They're going to dislike it, and they're going to try everything in their power to stop it, because that's what they're doing right now. Why do you think they got rid of Black Wall Street? Why do you think they got rid of what's the other place? That was Rosewood. Why do you think they got rid of all these daggone freaking cities that we populated and they put underwater? They destroyed. People fail to realize. I'm not ranting. Thank you very much. But can I tell you something? I can shut you up. What's that called? Forgotten Primark? This is not a rant. You ever heard of somebody that talk with passion? Because I guess you don't have passion. If this was a rant, I would have been saying certain other things too. But I digress. Um, but yeah, let's just go ahead and just think about that. They don't want none of us to unify. And if we start cleaning houses and start really focusing on doing business with one another, get rid of all our plants, get rid of all our goddamn going coons and shit, move the asses to the side and be like, yo, let's dialogue, let's do some business. Don't you know that it could be companies over here that's owned by us that we could start doing business with countries overseas? Because that's what they were doing in Black Wall Street. They were making so much money, so much success, that countries wanted to do business with them. Countries, plural, not country, countries wanted to do business with them. And they got jealous of that and they bombed it and destroyed Black Wall Street. That was one of them. And see, isn't this what they call Black History Month? So I guess this was supposed to happen today. But who am I to say anything? Because to this person I was ranting. You see how the way they bring you see how they bring their agents over here. They bring agents over here, their plants over here, what you call trolls. That's what they do. The numbers fluctuate because there's so many agents that be watching because they're trying to see what yours truly talking about on our channel. I said nothing wrong. I have the right to say how I feel, right? And the energy that I feel from others that I talk to, right? So I can be a voice for them at times so they don't have to say it themselves, right? So we can actually know what the hell is going on, right? So we can go ahead and start working on ourselves, correct? I am a mere reflection on how you think. If you know anything about universal law, you'll know about the reflection or how the way the mind works and how the way the reflection works when you're having these thoughts and somebody speak on how you feel, because that is a mere reflection on how you've been feeling and thinking. And all I am is a mere reflection on how a lot of us been thinking, not just here, but across the globe. Because the ones that came over here that are now a part of the culture, they're learning from us. But a lot of them are not taking it back home as inspiration. And a lot of it is based upon fear of the unknown. Because a lot of them don't want to be the leader to help jumpstart a rise over there because of sheer fear. And we get it. Scary. It's a scary place, ain't it? But one thing you have to stop doing is making money off the people that were here first and not giving them acknowledgement. I'm talking about the plants that do that shit. But I've been on here too long. I hope that Y'all, I hope y'all felt everything that was said, because that was only a reflection of how a lot of us feel from all walks of life, from different cultures of the melanated family. I love all of y'all, but we got to clean house. We have to clean house from El Capitan to our Caribbean to the US. We got to clean house from all these plants, because in order for us to make it and get to a prosperous state, we have to clean house. We have to start getting rid of those that are detrimental to our society. Meaning, we have to finally give them the boot and pull them to the side and focus on what we have to do to fix our communities up, to fix up our relationships amongst each other, because it done caused a lot of severe damage and is not really funny at all, and it's fucked up. Because later down the line, a lot of us are finding out, damn, our brothers and sisters that's Caribbean, they're actually indigenous too. Or damn, the brothers and sisters in West El Capitan, they are originally from here. They were put over there. Also, the Continental Drift took them over there, and also they were shipped over there too. A lot of people don't even know that. But I digress, y'all. I love all of you, from all y'all brothers and sisters across the globe, the whole human family in general. I love all of y'all, right? So I'm about to get up off of here, and I'm gonna end it with this: love, peace, light, darkness, which is the yin and the yang, which bring forth supreme balance. I am Negadezo, also known as Green Light Cosmic Angel Fire, better known as Brother B Forte Ill. I love all of you. May the primordial mother watch over you and yours, protect you and yours, and may she guide you on your journey. And keep in mind, they took the feminine force out of all the religions, or religions that we deal with over here today, because of patriarchy. Now, y'all take care. Stay wise. Shout out to Brother Pisces the King for that video. That's why I mentioned the whole religion thing. Y'all take care. I love y'all. Peace.